All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell, and I'm back again with What Color Was Jesus, number 4. In our society, there's a lot of people that have developed a bizarre behavior, which they are just totally incapable of acknowledging or perceiving and understanding the truth. Now, the bottom line is, as far as, and I hope that you listen to me because I saw a few videos where people have twisted my words, warped my words, and sought to deceive others because of what they perceive that I said, simply because they didn't take heed to how that they heard. And of course, I understand that, because I understand that when you get on YouTube or any other public forum, that you're going to have a wide variety and a wide array of dissenting views, and some agreeable. But what we're dealing with here is a truth thing. When it comes to salvation, does it really matter what color Jesus was? Well, the answer is an emphatic no. But if we're going to deal with truth, and remember what I said, race relations, every single one of them, all depend upon how we handle the truth. The one thing I did do is I was able to stimulate the conscience and the mind. And most of you out there who was behind the scenes, all of a sudden you come out to the forefront because I hit something that is personal to you in your heart. Again, I say it again. We are dealing with a truth thing here. What matters is honoring the truth. That is what matters. Now, since most of you people out there already have agreed, and all of you agree pretty much, that he was not a white man. The historical man that we call Jesus the Christ was not a white man. Of course, now many people vary in opinion of when I say what color he was. The bottom line is, if he was black, we all understand that black means that there is a wide spectrum and range. Here in America, I am called a black man. Just like there's a wide spectrum and range of those who are Caucasian or are white. But then again, I understand that we're dealing with people that are incapable to perceive and recognize the truth. We have been so inundated with lies all of our life that it's even hard for us to recognize the truth. Of course, then I have a lot of people on here who just didn't hear a word I said. The Bible said he had hair like wool, referring to the texture of his hair. So when I say that he didn't have horse mane hair, he didn't have hair that looked like a horse. Do white people have hair that looks like a horse? Yes or no? The Bible descriptively used an animal to describe the texture hair of the Messiah. His hair was white like wool. And black people, the Negroid race, has hair like wool. That's not hard to understand. Many people got on here and used different, what they call perspectives of brass, but you got it all wrong. They've even tried a few experiments of their own. They got it all wrong. Just like Brother Jermaine said, just Google it. Google it and look it up for yourself. But again, we're dealing with truth here. I'll give you another example. Here in America, they call themselves a Christian nation. Yet the Bible, this Bible right here is not a Christian book. This book is a historical record and reference, the word of the Most High Yah to the ancient Hebrew Israelite people. And whether most of you like it or not, the Most High, the creator of the universe, does not love all people like you have been conditioned to believe. As a matter of fact, he has chosen a people to be above all people on the face of planet Earth. And it's not that nation, sorry to let you Messianics, sorry to let you Jews down. It is not that nation that Great Britain and the United States set up under the League of Nations in 1948. It's just the truth. It is just under the Balfour Agreement. I mean, it's just the flat out truth. You see, it's a truth thing. There is no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a lie. No matter how much that is the truth, many of you will still have your family to associate was satanic paganism. You could care less. You're just here for contention. Now, I'm not a contentious man. I really ain't. Most of you can get mad at me all you want. It does not add to me nor take away from me one bit. I'm still not going to stop telling the truth. That's just the truth. A rabbit does not lay eggs. In case you don't know what that means, Easter is a pagan satanic holiday that the heathens had, that the Christians stole from them under the Roman Emperor Constantine. Go check it out. See if I'm telling the truth. See, it's a truth thing. I'm sorry to tell you that your church pastors are liars. Every single one of them. The Bible, because it's a Hebrew book, is not a Christian book. The Hebrew influence on this book, it spans some 4,000 years. The Roman perspective of this book only spans 99 and a half years. Even at that, the people who the Christians have adopted as their own personal apostle, even he himself was mistaken to be an Egyptian by the Romans, who were a white people. And if you don't know that reference, we'll go ahead and we'll read it in Acts 21, verse 38. And they said, Art not thou that Egyptian? Now, the Egyptian, 4,000 years ago, was a Negroid, Hamitic, black people. Is that a lie, or is it the truth? Can you comprehend? Can you conceive or perceive what I have just got finished saying? I either lied, I either told the truth. According to history, I have told the truth. It's irrelevant if your opinion disagrees with it at all. Totally irrelevant. I'm not going to lose any sleep. I hope you don't lose any sleep over dissenting views or opinion. Art not thou that Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness, 4,000 men that were murderers? Even the Romans mistaken the apostle Paul to be a black man, an Egyptian. You know, you think about Moses, and you think about how that the ancient Hebrew Israelite people, when Moses, when he was first born, they put him inside of a river. They put him on a river in this little old manger, and he floated down the river. And guess who picked him up? An Egyptian did. 4,000 years ago, what color were the Egyptians? How in the world could Moses be reared up 40 years in Pharaoh's court and people not know who he was if he was a white man? That's just the truth. So Hollywood's rendition of Moses, Charlton Heston, is a lie. I got some secular news for you. Most of you people believe that George Washington was the first president. That is another historical lie. The first president was John Hanson. Either I told the truth or either I told a lie. And not only that, there was 7 presidents before George Washington. Whoa, boy, I know I'm bringing a wrecking ball, a little wrecking ball on your little world of utopia make-believe. So when you think about Moses being reared up into Pharaoh's court right there in the house of the Egyptians while the ancient Hebrew Israelites was in slavery, no doubt that they were close. They were very close in color, if not some of them the very same color. But it is remarkable and amazing how people miss these viewpoints. That's like when Jesus, when Herod wanted to kill the baby Jesus. The first thing that Miriam and the first thing that Joseph did, yourself or Miriam, who you've been, according to the Greek rendition, called Joseph and Mary. And of course, you know the reason why they changed their names, right? They changed their names so that you people could pronounce them better, so that you people could understand them better, so that you could perceive that they were white folks. But Jesus, Joseph, and Mary were not white people. They were black. And so they took Jesus, according to the prophecies of Hosea, out of Egypt have I called my son. And you'll read that in Hosea, the 11th chapter. But when you go to the Gospels, you'll see that while they were fleeing from the wrath of Herod, they took baby Jesus and they went and hid into Egypt. 2,000 years ago, guess what color the Egyptians still were? They were black. It wasn't until after the conquest of Alexandria the Greek and all of his forces and stuff, when they came in with Ptolemy and all these people, they began to spread the seed and to make a colonial conquest of the land. You know, it's remarkable and amazing. So then we deal with the day of rest, not worship. You ought to worship the Father every day. We deal with the day of rest. The day of rest, according to this Bible right here, you cannot find one place in this King James version of the Bible where the holy seventh day Sabbath has ever been repealed. I challenge you, all your Christian pastors, teachers, and leaders to prove it otherwise. Never has it ever been repealed. Never. You will never find the word Sunday in this book. So what do? You've got a bunch of people who call themselves scholars, who have learned how to twist, warp, distort, body slam the whole entire truth. And as a result, you've got something presented to you today that doesn't resemble anything of what this book says. And that's why I call you religious. And that's why Pastor Dowell warns each and every last one of you, if you are Yah's people, you need to come out. Now, you know if you have a spirit of truth or not, because you can hear me. You can hear me very clear, because I have a spirit of truth. And Jesus said, if they hear you, then they hear me. If they reject you, then they reject me. That's what he said, clearly. That's what he said. So I have no compunction, because I am not the Holy Spirit. I am not the one that gives you the ears to hear, nor the eyes to see. It is irrelevant. It's none of my business. My job is to proclaim the truth, get the truth out to you people. And what you do with it, that's up to you. I am glad to say that I have black brothers and sisters who are Hebrews and are Israelites. I am glad to say I have white brothers and sisters who are Hebrews and Israelites, Japanese brothers and sisters, Mexican brothers and sisters, Puerto Ricans brothers and sisters. They are Hebrews and they are Israelites. Do you think I care if you disagree with that? No. You can put any name you want to me. You could call me a radical. You could call me a racist. You could call me extreme. You could call me anything you want. You live in America and you have freedom of speech. That doesn't mean what you believe is correct, nor does it mean that it's the truth. But when I come out here brutally honest, stating these facts in front of you, what are you going to do with it, especially if you have not been used to doing your own independent research? What are you going to do when you yourself have not ever lived anything in life by facts, but you state everything on opinion? You see, I personally believe that this bizarre behavior is collectively and socially embedded, deeply embedded in the subconscious mind of man. And the only one that can do something about it is the Spirit of truth himself. Now, let me recap. Does it make any difference what color Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, was concerning salvation? Why, the answer is an emphatic no. But it does make a difference in sake of honoring the truth what color he was, because we got all these white images painted and plastered all over the place, which this book tells you what the Romans and the Greeks did. You know the reason why that this book right here is removed out of your King James version of the Bible, but yet it is in the original 1611 King James version of the Bible? Did y'all hear what I said? I said these books are the Apocrypha. Is written in the original 1611 King James version of the Bible. Who after 1611 got so-called inspired by what spirit and all of a sudden said that we no longer need that record? Do you know what the prophecies of this book says? Whoever removes any prophecy of this book, the Most High Yah will also remove his name out of the Lamb's book of life. Not only that, they got a bad damnation in front of them. But this book right here When you go from the Old Testament to the New Testament, you go from Genesis to Malachi. Are you following me? The last historical reference that you understand is the history of the Persians. You get to the prophecies of Daniel, he tells you about the Greeks, which means most of you don't know about. And then you skip straight on over into Rome at the time of Christ's birth. But what you did miss out on is a very important part of history, which this is the glue that connects the dots. You don't have the history of the Greeks, because it was the Greeks that actually conquered the Persians, and then it was the Romans that actually assimilated, conquered the Greeks, and that's why it's called the Greco-Roman Hellenist time frame. And because, meaning you don't care about stuff like that, because you have loved lies and lived lies so long, you yourself have even become a liar. And hey, if you want to be a liar, that's up to you, but you have eaten of the fruit of lies. Now, hey, they come up with all kinds of things in this world scientifically to throw your mind off of truth. Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, they come up with all kinds of things. But in the Table of Nations, in Genesis, the 10th chapter, Bereshit, the 10th chapter, you know that it defines Noah's son as Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Did y'all know that? Ham is the progenitor of what we have been calling today, been conditioned to call the African people. Shem is the people who are the descendants of the ancient Hebrew Israelites. Japheth is the descendants of the Caucasians, out of which, when you read in Genesis, you will see the word Ashkenazi, which has to do with those Jews, so-called Jews, that are in that land that they call Israel. Now, hey, don't sit there and argue and fuss and fight. Go check out and verify, see what I'm saying or so. Now, I know I just turned over a lot of you people apple carts, but you know what? Only a few people will hear this truth. They will consider what's being said. They will exercise some self-autonomy. They will start for the first time in their life doing some independent research and thinking for their own selves. They will go back and question their lying institution called churches and pastors and preachers and teachers. And they will find out the truth for themselves. And then they will come back and they will say, thank you, Pastor Dowell, for being so honest and so truthful and having enough honor and integrity in your heart. See, I'm a man. And as a man, if somebody pushes against me, I have a heart and the mind to push back even harder and greater than what they push back against me. Now, hey, I understand, according to Galatians 4:16, that I will become your enemy because I tell you the truth, because Pastor Dow is going to tear down all your wicked traditions and lies. Jeremiah 16 verse 19 says, surely your fathers, our fathers, have inherited lies. Vain things that is no profit. And that's all that we have inherited here in America. It's amazing. You know what? Nobody, all these people who have clearly stated to us that Jesus, yeah, I know he wasn't a white man. I never believed it, but you have never done nothing in your life to promote the truth. You have practiced collusion. You've let the lie run its course. You've let people stay in chaotic, utter ignorance, and you've done nothing about it. But then when a black man gets on here and starts telling you the historical truth, bringing you facts and reference, all of a sudden you want to deflect the fight from the truth and make it an issue with the man. It's amazing. In this country, a white man can get up and talk about his Italian history. He could talk about his Greek history. He could talk about his Swiss history or his Germanic background. And nobody ever says nothing about his glorious history. But as soon as a black man gets up, all of a sudden he is lynched. All of a sudden he is made to be looked like and looked upon as the devil himself. All of a sudden he is a racist. All of a sudden he's got troubles and he's got problems. He's a militant man. All because I'm talking about my glorious history, which just happened to be the people of this book right here. Now, you may not like that. I could care less. I will not lose 1 ounce of sleep over that if you don't like that. That's a personal problem between you and the Most High. It still ain't going to stop me from telling that truth. And that is the truth, and that's the truth straight way. But Every time I get up here and talk about my glorious history and my glorious ancestry, I've got to prove every single point, hook, line, and sinker, while you do nothing. I've got to turn around and I've got to make sure that my research is on point before I can be accepted. And even at that, it's a very grim and very bleak situation. That's why there's only going to be a few that's going to be saved. I have told you the truth. And I have told you the truth straightway. And let me leave you with this. If you would actually go into Acts of the Apostles, the 13th chapter, you'll find out there were also black prophets. Hallelujah. I hope that you're able to handle this. I really, truly do. If not, it makes no difference to me. You've got a choice. Now it's in your path. It's right here in front of you. Do with it what you may. I love the truth. I support the truth. I defend the truth. And I'm not about to stop telling the truth simply because you don't like it. And that is the truth. And that's the truth. Straightway. I hope each and every last one of you have a blessed day. Be encouraged. Be at peace. You don't have to get in uproar. You don't have to start slinging mud. Remember, he who slings mud loses ground because you don't agree with what somebody said. Most of you only agree with the stuff that you have in your mind, which is nothing more than your feelings and emotions and opinion, but you have no facts to back up anything that you said. All history didn't start with the antiquity of the Greeks. No, it didn't. It started a long, long time ago in that land called Mesopotamia, as well as the land of Ham. Hallelujah. The king is coming.